Hi, I'm Dale Wilsher, life and leadership coach with Your Authentic Personality. I do personal development for professional women. Each of us has our own love language or blend of love languages that must be spoken in order to fill our love tank. Your love language is usually different than the love languages of those around you, meaning that they'll have to learn a new language if you're going to feel loved. So let's say your husband or your partner has been speaking acts of service all his life or her life, and it's his native language. He's been loving you by all the chores or activities he does for you, but acts of service isn't your love language. Words of affirmation is. So sure, you've got clean laundry and a manicured lawn, but your love tank is running low because what you crave is a kind word or an encouraging chat. When you are not spoken to in your native tongue, you can start to feel unloved and unappreciated and drained and running on fumes. Many women I talk to complain about just this very thing. They notice and practice the love languages of their family and their friends and their coworkers, filling up all of their tanks, but they're not getting filled up in return. So if you find yourself in this situation, I've got a few tips for you because frankly, I've been there too. Number one, know your love language. If no one knows what your language is, it's not likely that anyone is going to be able to speak it. So first, you need to understand how you speak love. The first thing to do is to take a quiz to determine what your love language is. Just Google the 5 love languages quiz. That's a quick and easy way to start. Next, think about the gestures that have made your heart swoon. Were they all about spoken words, or time spent, or gifts given, or acts done, or maybe it was the touch of another person? What you love receiving is the love language that your emotional heart yearns to hear spoken. Finally, do everything you can to know yourself. Your love language is part of your unique nature. While it's not exact, I do see strong connections between love languages and your authentic personality types. For example, doers usually have the love language of acts of service because nothing says love more than making dinner or sweeping the floor. Connectors usually have words of affirmation as their love language because communication is so integral to their life. Sometimes they have gifts or physical touch because their generous nature and their affectionate ways, that's why they have no need for personal space, it lends itself to these languages. Now, improvers, you prefer quality time because you desire quality relationships that go deep. Now, stabilizers, I'll admit, you're not as easy to nail down. Sometimes you love gifts because you're so very giving, and that's your love language. Other times you prefer quality time because you see and hear others so well. The journey to your authentic self requires that you know who you are at a deep level. A deeper dive into your personality blend can explain your needs, your motivators, and your stressors. This type of knowledge puts you in the driver's seat of your strengths, and it helps you manage your triggers. Check out the other videos that I have on energy drainers for each of the 4 types, and also take a quiz to see what your type is. Number 2, tell others about your love language. Tell your spouse, tell your partner, tell your children, tell your boss, your coworkers, and your extended family what makes you feel love. Give them specific examples. If making the bed or cleaning the shower, acts of service makes you feel loved, tell them. If it's a back rub or a foot massage that fills your tank, which is physical touch, request one or both. Your friends and family are not mind readers, and they are not supposed to know you better than you know yourself. Now, this is usually pretty tricky for women because it feels a bit self-centered to ask for what you need, especially when you're expected to meet everyone else's needs. I, however, see this type of admission as an act of humility. It is wonderfully vulnerable to admit that you need something because it puts you in the position of a receiver rather than a giver, in need rather than meeting everyone's needs. And humility is an essential element in your pursuit of authenticity. Now, in the work world, love languages are called languages of appreciation, and they're still important to share. Let your boss know how you like to be rewarded for a job well done. Is it public recognition? That's probably words of affirmation. Or is it a Starbucks gift card? That would be gifts. Let your coworker know if you like a high five or a pat on the back. That's physical touch, and also if you don't. Schedule retreats or face-to-face conversations if you're into quality time. And tell others that when they help you with projects, acts of service, you feel so appreciated. And number 3, take responsibility for your love tank. If others in your life are not willing or able to speak your love language, and sometimes you got to just stop trying to figure that out. I tried for 10 years, and frankly, it doesn't matter. The result is still the same. But if they aren't speaking your love language, make sure to take ownership of your needs. If you are a gifts guy or gal, treat yourself. It doesn't have to be expensive, just a little something that activates that reward center of your brain. Now, if you do have some cash, get something that you've always wanted to have, something that you secretly hoped someone else would buy for you. If you're into quality time, take yourself on a date. Go for a walk or a bike ride, journal. Give yourself some undivided attention. If physical touch fills your tank, get a manicure, pedicure, or a massage. Go big. The deluxe pedicure at my favorite nail place, it's only $5 more, and it includes a hot paraffin wax. So I love that part. Now, for you acts of service men and women, hire a housekeeper or a landscape company. Sure, we know you're quite capable of doing all that work. That's not the point. You will actually feel loved by letting someone else do work for you. And for those with the words of affirmation language, talk to yourself. Ditch your inner critic and say things that you long to hear. Write yourself notes on your bathroom mirror. I do that all the time. Remind yourself that you are beautiful and powerful and a very snappy dresser. And be on the lookout for all the many ways that God has been speaking your love language all along. He did not create you with a love tank that couldn't be filled. And He didn't place you at the mercy of others as your only source of love. He promises to meet all your needs according to the riches of His glories. I hope today, more than ever, that your tank runneth over. In your corner, Dale.